For making stain grade trim, I like to use a process called strip lamination. It involves ripping strips of wood off of a board and then gluing them back together around a form in the same order they were ripped off the board. By doing that, you can actually make it look like the grain bends right around the piece of trim. The first thing we're going to do is take a board and put a mark across it. This helps me get those strips back together the same way that I ripped them off. Now this board is a little over 1 inch thick. It's important that we have at least 1/4 of an inch of extra thickness in the material we're working with, because when we glue it up, it's never going to be absolutely perfect. Once we've done the glue up, let it dry, then we will run the glue up through a planer to flatten it down, and then the next step will be to actually put the profile on the piece of trim. For the piece of trim I'm going to be making today, I'll rip 1/4 inch strips and then we'll run through a planer to get them down to about 3/16 of an inch thick. Depending on how tight the radius is, you need to adjust the thickness of your strips. I would never go below 1/8 of an inch thick strip, and sometimes you can get by with as much as 1/4, even 5/16 on a very slight radius. But for today, we're going to rip 1/4 inch strips, and I'll also number them as I put them together. The reason I want to number those strips, I want to plane one of the two surfaces of the board. When I glue the strips back together, I'll be putting one plane surface against a saw curve surface, and I found that that gives me a good enough joint that's almost invisible.